Hey everyone, so in this video we're going to be fitting some Project EKP Garage Defend style carbon mirrors onto the gti-r. So I fancied some new mirrors on the Pulsar because I plan, hopefully, to get carbon bonnet, carbon boot and a few other things going on the outside of the car, and just like with the Evo behind me, carbon mirrors I think look really good. And on the Pulsar, maybe it's just my car, maybe it's all Pulsars, but mine aren't manual, but they have nothing inside them for the electronics to control them. So they just flap around in the wind, which is hilarious. I will show you what I mean on the driver's side one here. If you look, I mean, this one isn't actually so bad, to be honest, but when you're driving around, especially the passenger side one, it would just move. So if you wash the car, you'd have to adjust the mirrors, and it's a pain in the arse because the windows don't open because I've got rid of all the gubbins to do with that to save weight. So I thought I want some aftermarket mirrors. I did look at Craft Square, which is what I have had on the Evo, and I've got Craft Squares I'll show you in a sec that are spare, but they didn't seem to suit. So hunted around on the internet and found a few of the Pulsar rally cars and some of the R32 GT-r race cars that ran Garage Defend mirrors, which are almost like a sort of M3 mirror, like a Ganador mirror. And I found a company in America called Project EKP. I think I'm saying that right. I'll put a link up in the video. And they make awesome autoclaved, proper pucker 2x2 twill carbon fibre mirrors in that style. Price is pretty reasonable, so kind of measured up, thought it's probably going to work, decided just to go for it and get a set. So they're here. Let's have a look at the mirrors and the other bits and pieces that I've got to sort of do this job, and then we can kind of crack on with the driver's side. I like a lot of these videos where there's two sides that are the same. I will just do one side in the video and then do the other side myself just for saving time. On the Pulsar, I've already got the door cards off and I've already taken off the passenger mirror while I was making my template for base plate idea, and I've got the mirror, looking at it over there, so I'll show you kind of that as well before we get on with taking the mirror off the driver's side and etc, etc. Okay, so this is what we've got. So these are our mirrors. Sorry, see my face there. These are very small, they're incredibly light, and I will weigh them in the video, but the mirrors themselves, you adjust them and fix them through a screwdriver or Allen key in the base. So they are proper solid in place, and yeah, they're just absolutely brilliant. Absolutely so impressed with these. Oops, don't break them. These are the Craft Square mirrors that were on the Evo, and you can see that I've been sort of dicking around with these, taking them apart, seeing how they work with the mirror glass and things, because sadly these got damaged, so I decided to pull them apart and see how they work and stuff, because I can't really use them on the car. So that's that. This is the original mirror here from the passenger side, and these weigh a ton. And you can see here with this mirror, it's a bit more kind of flappy. To get the mirrors off, we'll show you on the driver's side, but to get the base off here, this goes in there like that. So all you need to do when you've got the mirror off the car is you just need to remove the 3 screws there. That will kind of get it free from this base plate, and then if you pop this bottom piece off here with the screwdriver, you've just got 1, 2, I think it is, or 3 little bolts there that hold the mirror into place. So then you can get the mirror off, get that off, and then you can use this, like I've done, to basically draw round, putting it on a flat surface, draw around it, bit of trial and error, cut out, and then you can, using the rubber left on the car to give a seal so water doesn't get into the door and stuff and make the car even more rusty, you can basically just get your template pretty much as you want it, like I've done here. I will show you on the driver's side when we get onto it, and then yeah, the plan is that I'm going to cut these out of the carbon like that, both sides, mount the mirror up. Which one is it? This way like that. Yeah, get the mirror on there like that, sort of mounted up, and yeah, good to go. So let's get the driver's side mirror off and let's get cracking. Okay, that's the mirror off, and we've got our little rubber sort of backing plate cleaned and removed. This is the passenger side one, and you can see the difference between the two. Basically, we need to flatten it all off, so we need to remove these raised bits here and here and here, so that our template will basically sit flush like that, because at the moment it's going to be sat proud. So let's get these trimmed off, and then we can have a little look at test fitting things up to the car with what we've got, kind of see how it's going to work. Okay, so we're done with our rubber seal now. It's all nice and smooth, and I've made an additional 10mm hole in each of them here, which is for the top leg on the mirror, because I already know that that is going to kind of foul, and I'll work that out in a little bit, what I'm going to do with that on the car itself. But with the base plate, we can drop that on now, and we'll just kind of test fit it onto the car. But basically, I've already put the mirror on like this here, kind of see how it's going to look roughly. This hole here lines up perfectly with the bottom hole on the car, so we're going to use that, and then my plan is to bond some nutserts to the back of the carbon base plates for the other two holes on the car already, and then have the mirror potentially just holding itself to the base plate in one or two places, but we'll figure that out. So let's get the mirror attached to the base plate, and then let's get it installed on the car. Okay, so there we go. This is our little test fit. This is what I always do when I'm doing stuff like this. And you can see that it's kind of sitting. It's hard to tell because it's very dark. It's kind of sitting right in position there and here. And I've checked inside the car, perfect visibility and what have you. So that's all looking good. So next thing I need to do is I've already marked up on the car with the rubber seal in place where the hole needs to be for the top bolt for the mirror. So I'm going to drill that out, and then we can either just, like I say, put the bolt through the base plate in the mirror and then just give it essentially a recess for it to sort of fit in on the door itself, or maybe we can actually use the space, the hole that we've made in the door, to actually bolt through from the back to give it extra security, but we'll work that out when we've drilled it. So I'll just get the mirror off, and then we'll crack on with getting the hole drilled. Okay, so I've fitted the mirror back up to the base plate now. We've got our 10mm hole drilled here on the car, and if we put this now on the car like that, that all lines up perfectly well, which is unusual for me. And this now, when we put this into place, what we'll find is that this top bolt here goes into the door frame, and it can sit flush, and we're all good. So with that all said, I'll just show you now on the back. That's where it's going to come through. With that all said and done now, we can make our base plate up in carbon. So let's go and do that, and then we can kind of look at getting it on the car.
A few inches later.
Okay, so I've already started on the second one, just to kind of keep this video as short as possible. But here we go, this is the driver's side one, now kind of sanded down and filed and stuff and smoothed off. And if you have a look, these are 12mm holes, by the way. I'll explain them in a sec. But if we offer this up to the rubber seal, you can see there that that is pretty much perfect. And if we flip this over, here are our holes here, and the third hole is hidden behind there, so that's all good. I've just slightly got ahead of myself just to make sure that this is going to work. Just super glued 2 M6 aluminium nutserts, which are going to serve as the 2 OEM mounting points, and this is obviously the third OEM mounting point, which the mirror actually attaches to. So these are just kind of support ones. So if we put our mirror on there now, the reason why I've made the holes big is to give me a little bit of wiggle room, just to make sure that I get the angle and positioning right. And it does mean that the mirrors can then sit totally flush pretty much to the base plate, rather than them kind of standing off the base plate because of the nutserts. So all that being said, we can now do a little test fit on the car, make sure we're happy with it, have a quick look at it, and then it's going to be epoxying these on, and then me repeating the process doing the other side, and then we can kind of get them on the car for the final install. And there you go. So just with the one bolt through, the OEM one, you can see that it's pretty much, just to say I've done a quick fit up, it's pretty much looking good, really. This is kind of how it's going to be, just going to be a little bit kind of neater here and here when I kind of get it fitted a little bit better into place. But there you go. So that all done, we can now get on with getting this off. I won't film that. We can get the epoxy on for the original mounts. We'll film that. And then, yeah, once it's set, SpongeBob, come back and we can hopefully get it bolted up to the car, and then I'll bugger off and do the other side.
Many hours later.
And we're back. It's been a few days actually now, but you can see the I kind of just tidied up the epoxy with the scraper once I'd fitted it, but these are all now rock solid. It's been just over a day actually, but yeah, they're all done now on both of the base plates, and I test fitted them on the car just to make sure that everything's going to work. Everything's going to work. It looks really good. So we just need to take off the protective film. Now we're almost there, and just going to put a little bit of clear lacquer, speaking Swedish a little bit, beading around the edge of the carbon, just to sort of seal the bits that are sanded and the bits that are bare. I'll show you me doing that on one. No point showing you on both. And then when that's set, have a little bit of a SpongeBob again, and then we can get them fitted onto the car, and then that's going to be it.
One debt to society later.
Thank you, SpongeBob. We are done. So, I don't know if you can see this in the video, but that's our kind of edging now, all nice and shiny and tidy and sealed. And I've just fitted the mirrors up to the base plate, making sure they're straight and stuff, so that's ready to go on the car. I will just fit one side as always, because there's no point showing you the same thing twice, and then we can bask in the glory, as I always say, of our wonderful creation. Basking in glory. right about this moment in time. There you go, so you can see it now, hopefully all kind of fitted up, how it works with the rubber all the way around, and how the mirror kind of sits and looks. I'll get some footage at the end as I do, but yeah, I think you can just about see both sides. I think they look really smart. And like I say, I've seen these on cars before, on Nissans, so I know that they kind of work. But visibility wise and stuff is pretty decent. Actually, I've kind of got it all set in the car, if you can see, probably not through the passenger mirror there, but yeah, that's it. So that is how to fit Project EKP, Garage Defend, Nissan Motorsport Europe, whatever you want to call them, style mirrors onto Pulsar GTI-R. If you want to fit into another car, you can do that. It's just a case of making your own base plates up, kind of like I've done in this video. But yeah, that is it. Thank you for watching. Give us a shout, any questions or comments. I did weigh them, by the way, just before I head off. And the new mirrors with base plates were 227 grams. And the old mirrors were 870 grams, so a really nice little saving there. And now that they're adjusted and mounted up, they are more solid than the original mirrors were, so top result all around. Anyway, that's it from me.